According to the United Nations, the DRC has the highest incidence of domestic rape of any country in the world. Nearly 2 million women in the country have been raped. Now, a hard-hitting short film depicts sexual assault, murder and mutilation in the Congo, but transposed to a white European setting. Paul Dio has more.
The movie Untouchable starts with a young blonde girl in a white dress picking flowers next to a large country manor somewhere in rural England. In the film, the characters are white and its plot, a gang of soldiers break into a posh country mansion and proceed to rape, murder and mutilate. It was made on behalf of the charity Save the Congo to illustrate the effects of the illegal minerals trade in the DRC. And it's associated with horrors of war and violence.
Essentially what Untouchable does is that it brings the issues happening in the Congo into our homes and sitting rooms in Britain and across the world. It makes it much more personal. It bridges the distance to Africa. The Congo is seen as this, distant place, this faraway land. Issues happening in the Congo, in Africa, simply doesn't matter to people in Britain.
Since its release, the film has prompted both complaints about its graphic content and praise from its uncompromising approach. Co-director Mark Hawke says that the scenes were so horrific, even the actors found them hard to film.
It was a really hard film to make. I mean, the teenage girl was traumatized by what happened. Interestingly, the whole crew, when we filmed the rape scene, in just one cut, because that was really all that anybody could take. And we had a support group for the teenage girl and for the mother afterwards, because we knew that they would be pretty upset by what was going on. But the soldiers, the actors that played the soldiers as well, were extremely upset.
Hawke is quick to point out that the scenes played out in the film are a reality for hundreds of men, women and children who live in fear of the conflict engulfing their homeland. More than 8 years after the formal end of a war that killed millions and drew in 6 other African countries, rebel groups and the Congolese army continue to battle for the control of mine sites deep in the hills of eastern Congo. Tampa says he hopes people who watch the film will support global efforts to stop conflict minerals, cutting off money to rebel groups and helping bring peace to the region.
If we can stop the blood mineral market, if Europe can essentially take measures that stops blood minerals from Congo from entering the European market, that would affect the financial means of rebel leaders to buy weapons as well as equipment to carry on their campaigns.
In 2010, US lawmakers took steps to force companies to disclose whether they use minerals such as gold or tungsten coming from places like the DRC. Electronics firms such as Apple and Hewlett-Packard are not waiting to see the fine print into the law, and they say they are no longer sourcing from the region, having launched their own industry drive against such conflict minerals. Paul Dio, VOA News.